0% health insurance before you're 65? Yes, you can. PVC pipe of knowledge. Yes, you can. The authentic PVC pipe of knowledge, because they got the green tape there. All right, so you only get the good stuff here. All right, so we're going to take an example. We're going to say your old buddy Josh is 60 years old and I'm single and I live in Fulton County, Georgia. All right. Now I'm sitting there digging ditches at work. I'm just tired. I'm tired of digging ditches. And I'm telling my boss, I don't like his DEI stuff. I say, all this crap is getting my nerves. My boss said, get out there and dig more ditches, Josh. Dig more ditches. I'm tired of this. I said, why can't Cheryl do it? She works. She's working in the office, and we're supposed to be preaching equality, among the sexes for jobs. He goes, well, she can't do it. She's not strong enough to dig ditches, so I need you to do it. I'm like, so Cheryl gets an easy job. I get the hard job because I'm a man and being discriminated against, obviously, and I get better pay. Well, maybe I don't, because sometimes the office workers make more, but either way. I'm like, yeah, I'm tired of this. I'm going home. I'm taking my shovel. I'm going home. I'm quitting. I say, and I tell myself, I said, I need about $50,000 a year of income or spending. I need $50,000 a year of spending between now and when I'm on Medicare. All right, and that includes my Obamacare premiums. All right, so I said I got $50,000 bucks. If I can generate $50,000 a year of spending, I'll be okay. So then I said to this guy, Heritage Wealth Planning, I said, how much would it cost for me to get Obamacare premiums? Because I don't have company-sponsored health insurance. I'm too young for Medicare. And this crazy guy, I happen to have the same name, Josh, he runs this chart for me. He said, Josh, your Obamacare premiums in Fulton County, now they're all HMOs, no PPOs in Fulton County. Kind of sucks, but it is what it is. And Obamacare, it is what it is. I said, I know you didn't vote for Obama because only crazies vote for Obama, but it is the law of the land, so we're going to have to run with it. By the way, you do have catastrophic coverage, so we know for a fact that you know what your out-of-pocket max will be. That's just a fact. So you don't have to worry about going bankrupt or anything like that, which is one of the benefits of Obamacare, even though he ruined the private insurance business. But he says, look, Josh, if you're single, as long as you make between $1 and $150,000, as long as you make 100 to 150% of the federal poverty level, all right, you will have no premiums at all for Obamacare. So what's the federal poverty level? Well, it's roughly $15,000 a year for a single person. That's the federal poverty level. So as long as my income is between 15 and 24, I pay no percentage of my income for my premiums. So I pay no premiums. And I can qualify for either all bronze or silver plans. Again, they're all HMOs, and I'll say they're good plans, but hey, it's better than a hole in the head. So that makes sense. So I get between 100 and 150% of the federal poverty level, which is $15,000 of income. I got an asterisk on there. We'll talk about it here in just a second. I don't pay any percentage of my income for premiums, and it's all free. All free. It just falls from the sky. Now, if I make between 150 and 200% of the federal poverty level, that's between $24,000 and $31,000 a year, I could pay as max of 2% of my income and pay a maximum premium of $52 a month. All right, so I could still pay between 0 and 52, and I get most of bronze and silver plans. That doesn't sound too shabby either. Remember, I only need $50,000 a year to live on. So if my income is between basically 15 and 24, I don't pay anything. If my income is between 50 and 31, the max I'd pay is $52 a month. Now, for a 60-year-old, the full cost is roughly $600 a month. It depends on what kind of plan you choose on that, but roughly $600 a month. So if I can get 0 premiums for the next 5 years, I'll end up saving $7,200 a year of premiums. $7,200 a year times 5 is $36,000. So if I can get coverage for nothing, I'll save $36,000 before I'm on Medicare. Not too shabby. All right. But again, I said I need $50,000 a year to spend. So I'm like, but Josh Scanlon, Heritage Wealth Planning, my income is only $20,000 a year. I need $50,000. How do you slice those apples? How do you like them apples, Scanlon? I'm like, well, that's easy. We take $30,000 a year from our post-tax or a Roth IRA, and we add that to the $20,000 that we're going to pull from the IRA, which is taxable. That $20,000 flows to our income, but that's not our total spending. Our total spending is the $30,000 we're going to pull from a brokerage account or a Roth or a bank or something like that. But we are going to take $20,000 a year to make sure we qualify for Obamacare as opposed to Medicaid, excuse me. And my man says, yeah, but I don't have a Roth. I don't have a post-tax account. I just have everything in my 401k or my IRA. I said, okay. Well, then what we'll do is we'll take 5 years of $30,000 a year. All right, because again, we don't want to have more than $20,000 a year. We could go up to 24, but for simplicity, we're just going to 20. We don't want to have more than $20,000 a year of gross income because we want to keep our maximum premiums to zero. So what we do is the year before we go on Obamacare, we take 30,000, because we already got 20,000 accounted for. So we need another 30,000 a year. We times that by 5, and we do a one-time distribution or Roth conversion. Either way is fine with me. I don't care. Now we're going to put you in a 22% tax bracket if you got to do that. So it's going to cost you $33,000 of taxes. So I'm going to say, hey man, it's going to cost you $33,000 in one fell swoop to convert $150,000 or take a distribution of $150,000 in which, so in the future 5 years, we'll have $30,000 a year, essentially tax-free, that we can add to our taxable distribution of $20,000 a year from the IRA. $33,000 that you have to pay today in order to save $36,000 over the next 5 years. It's kind of a wash. And you say, that's kind of a wash. I said, no, I get it, man. If that were me, if that was the only consideration, I would not do that. But it's not the only consideration. Because don't forget, just because you don't do that Roth conversion, you still only have money in an IRA. So that money taken, that $150,000 was actually taken out over 5 years that you did not convert. Remember, we're already taking $20,000 a year from the IRA anyway. That's lock, stock, and barrel. So the question is, where's the other $30,000 come from? Well, you're going to have to take it out from your pre-tax account because you have no post-tax or Roth IRA. So $150,000 over 5 years, we're going to have you only paying 12% tax on that. That's going to cost you $18,000 of taxes. So $18,000 of taxes plus the $36,000 that you'll end up spending because you did not do the Roth conversions or the IRA distribution, your total burden will be $54,000. Whereas if you did the Roth conversion of $150,000 at a 22% effective tax rate or marginal tax rate, it would cost you $33,000. So in this way, you qualify for Obamacare premiums of zero, and you're going to save $21,000 of taxes and premiums as well. It's going to be a net saving to you of $21,000 solely for doing this Roth conversion or IRA distribution at $150,000 in which to use that money to cover you so your income stays at 100% of the federal poverty level. Pretty good strategy. Pretty good strategy. Now, this is why, frankly, I would have rather him start doing this 2 or 3 years before he retired, as opposed to the 1 year right before he retired. That way he could spread this $150,000 out over 5 years as well as what he did here. You see what I'm saying? So he said, all right, I'm going to pay maybe 12% taxes on that $150,000 because I'm only going to do it over 5 years. 50, 50, 50. No, it'd be 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30. But because we're, basically got pissed at his boss like, vote Obama. He's like, I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying? So he said, I'm just going to do one fell swoop. So this would be the worst case scenario. Now you can make an argument, but Josh, all these numbers are going to change. Dude, I 100% get it. Taxes could change. I mean, everything could change. They're not going to get the subsidies anymore. Remember, the cliff is simply for what? Once you go above 400% above the federal poverty level, there's no more subsidy. And then you're stuck right here. That's just what the cliff is. No big deal. Anyway, the point being is, yes, anything can change. We're talking politicians. Again, if there were Democrats who want to hang their hat on giving illegal immigrants free health care, more power to them. The Republicans should fight that hook, line, and sinker. The Republicans need to recognize, though, that we still have benefits of, our people are still paying, getting Obamacare with subsidies. So don't overlook that either, Republicans. I don't think they will, because J.D. Vance isn't stupid. Neither is a Trumpster. So anyway, that's how you do it. Hope that helps. If you are on Obamacare, and you're liking let me know, actually. Don't even tell me if you like it or not. Just say, hey, I'm on Obamacare, sucks. I'm on Obamacare, is good. I didn't vote for Obama, but Obamacare has worked out well. I voted for Obama, Obama sucks. I don't care. Just if you're on Obamacare, put in the show notes down there. I'd love to hear your thoughts. All right, God bless. We'll see you guys next time.